right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Dr. Dex podcast. Today is a really cool day because we have a female guest. Her name is April Edwards. She is with Deck Builder Marketers, and I have done a little bit of research, April, but why don't you run us down on what you are and what you do and so on and so forth?
Yeah, sure. So April Edwards, founder of Deck Builder Marketers, and everyone's like, oh, why Deck Builders? I can explain that. But we are, at this stage, the only full-service marketing agency devoted solely to deck builders. So my copywriters can probably build a deck by this time. But
I'm going to put them to the test.
But I'd really like to say, I mean, we definitely focus on the nerdy digital marketing side of things. If you've heard of things like SEO and Google Ads and social media and so forth, we do all those nerdy things full service for you to help your business grow. So I really like to say we're more of a growth partner. Because a lot of times, a lot of deck builders, depending on how long they've been in the game, they're still treating it like a side gig as opposed to a real business. And so I think that our clients really appreciate that we could come in and hold them accountable for reaching their goals and stuff like that. And, of course, we're their outsourced marketing department. So.
Cool. I think that's a sweet feature, like especially for some companies, maybe they're younger, but they have a little bit of a marketing budget and they're trying to figure out where do I put these advertising dollars? And guess where I used to put mine? When I first started my business, it was in the newspaper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In this little column they had of service directory, and it wasn't even guaranteed that any of these people were licensed or bonded or anything. They said, you got to do your homework. And then when I got a little bit more money, it was the yellow pages. Ooh, and that was a commitment. That was like a $1,600 a month commitment. They charged a lot for the yellow pages.
Yeah.
And then the internet happened.
Yep. And so we're kind of the matchmaker between, Google. So most people search on Google. There's other platforms, but we're kind of the matchmaker between Google and your brand. And so I'm always trying to explain to deck builders that, Google is kind of like the yellow pages of today, right? And you want to be shown all over, just like how you used to pay for a big ad in the yellow pages. The one that, is the biggest stands out the most.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, April. So we've got a little bit of a rundown. We're going to go deeper into that because when you said, you took the question out of my mouth. You said, why?
Everybody always asks.
And you know what? Let's wait on that.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
All right.
But before we do, this is something I love to do with all my guests, is we are going to hit the rewind button. And I want to talk about, where did you grow up? And tell me about your childhood in your elementary school, junior high, high school, all that. If you went to college, that kind of thing, and we'll go from there.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Go back.
Cool. I love that you're peeling the layers back because I think that people's story really builds their character and their grit in their business too, because it's 100%. Not easy to own a business.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into being able to have the balls to do it, right? Even if you're a woman.
Absolutely. Hey, I love it. And be as salty as you'd like.
All right, cool. So I'm originally from northeastern Ohio. I live in San Diego now. I've been out here for 19 years because I wanted sunshine and salt in my hair.
Nice.
But I really grew up in a cornfield, to be honest. I was a trailer park girl. I ran around barefoot. It was just my mom and I, no siblings, not a big family. My mom had me really young. 19. She got pregnant with me when she was 18. And so we did a lot of growing up together. And I had to learn a lot on my own, like she was just trying to keep ends meet, she was just trying to keep everything together, working a couple of jobs sometimes. And if I wanted things, I'd have to get my own money. And so I started working really young. But I always had that drive too, and I think I learned a lot about what not to do from my mom, and she would say the same,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I just was always really driven in that way. So, let's see, like all the jobs I've had, of course, classic newspaper girl, right? Babysitter. Funny story, I babysat in this small trailer park. It's called Randolph, Ohio. It's in the same county where Kent State is, if you know the shootings back.
Yeah.
So I babysat somebody that had a baby raccoon. So I had to feed the baby raccoon. And then I also babysat somebody. It was the smallest trailer in the trailer park, and they had a potbelly pig as a pet.
Man, back then? Like, wow.
Yeah.
That was a thing. That was a thing 20 years ago, huh?
Yeah, apparently in Randolph, Ohio. One of my first jobs, I was a monster at a place called the Haunted Hill Farm. And so think about being like 12 years old with complete freedom. Like I'm like, hey mom, I'm going to work for the weekend. And then I just stay at this place and like dress up and scare people. And I got a paycheck. It was crazy.
That's pretty cool. So, yeah, are you in 12 years old? You're like in junior high or high school or grade elementary school or?
No, my mom got me in school as soon as she could. She's like, get out of the house. So, I'm September 5th baby. So, I actually was 13 when I started high school and 17 when I started college. So I was in middle school during those first jobs. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and okay, so in middle school. Were you obviously had a job, so that, sometimes that could interfere with your studies or sports or athletics. So did you participate in anything athletic or were you into your studies at all or?
I am so glad that you said this, and I hope that my kids watch this one day because
Make them.
When I was in middle school, I was in all the things. I was in basketball and softball when I was younger and cheerleading and
wow.
Once I started working like more regularly, like 20 hours a week, that would have been in high school. And I was like a dishwasher at the local place called the Gypsy Wagon. You should tag this Randolph because you'll have so many people that are like, what?
We'll have Calvin do that. So if you're a cheerleader, when was your first tryouts for cheerleader? How old were you? What grade were you in?
Yeah, I only did it for 2 years in middle school when they offered it. So 7th and 8th grade. Well, that's not true. I ended up doing it again when I was a junior because my friend convinced me to do it, but we didn't like it then because we were into other things.
Emo?
What's that?
I'm just kidding. Emo? I don't know.
Oh,
it
God,
just came out. Sorry.
I've had all the phases in my life, and it's really interesting having a 15-year-old daughter and seeing her go through all that,
So how do you juggle, like if you're a cheerleader, then are you doing that for certain sports and then you're participating in other sports? Or are you doing them at the same time or what's
I did basketball and cheerleading. I think it was at different times. I think that, right? I don't know. I'm not a sport.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Which is weird because I'm from Ohio. Everyone's like, "Are you a Buckeyes fan?" I'm like, I don't even know how to spell football.
What is that? I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
But good for you.
So yeah, middle school wasn't that big of a deal. But then once I got into high school, I definitely sacrificed doing a lot of things that kids were doing at the time because I worked a lot.
Right. And you worked a lot because you had to, because if you wanted a new pair of pants or shoes or a dress or whatever, you had to go grind for it. Mm-hmm. And, and it's just the way you're brought up. It's the hand of cards you've been dealt. You got to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
So you overcome those challenges by doing whatever you have to do. And I know a lot of my friends were in the same boat, man. Like McDonald's was a popular place to work back in the late 80s, and a lot of my friends did.
Yeah.
I'm much older than you, so.
Yeah, I mean, talk about restaurants like that. Well, did you ever listen to the Restaurant Confidential from Anthony Bourdain? It's really good. Do the Audible. It's really good. But
yeah,
boy, does that build some balls.
Yeah. Okay.
You work with all kinds of people. So I worked every position in the back of the house, and I wanted to be a chef. And I actually went to, I took culinary as, it was in a vocational school in high school. So
cool.
My junior and sophomore year, I was going to school and learning about sanitation and like how to build a menu based off of margins and, obviously how to cook really good food and stuff. And that's
did that translate into your current life? Are you a good cook?
My husband does more of the cooking now. His job is to, it keeps getting longer, his list of things that he needs to do to keep this marriage together. But he's got to drive the car and he's got to make me laugh. And now he kind of has to cook dinner too. So he's got a full plate.
Awesome. Well, so little secret. I don't think we've talked about this much on this podcast yet, but I built our home almost 30 years ago, and the one prerequisite for me, we had a lot of timber on our property, and we cut it all down, we logged it all, and we sold it as export logs. A lot of it went out as export logs, so it gave me a really healthy budget, and all that budget went into my kitchen. So all Viking, stove, fridge, dishwasher, everything matched, hood, the whole 9 yards, and I wore those appliances out over the next 20 years. And now we had to replace them. So I wasn't happy with the longevity of the appliances, even though the last 20 years is pretty good of heavy use. Now we have we had to upgrade. So we went in and did Wolf and a Sub-Zero fridge and all that. But I used to cook a lot.
Yeah, I feel like you're making me hungry. So what's your best?
Well,
what's your best? Do you have like a signature thing that you cook?
Man, okay. All right. My signature right now, I cook on a big green egg. And I can cook a steak as good as any. My wife is every time we go out for a meal, like when you go to these trade shows and everybody wants to take you out to dinner. Mm-hmm. And so you go out to dinner and you go to a fine steakhouse. Like, well, I'm at a fine steakhouse. Like, I'll have the Wagyu. Do you mind if I have the $120 steak? No? Okay, I'll have the Wagyu, please. And then you get it and it's delicious. But I'm like, I can basically cook the same thing at my house the way I cook a steak. Mm-hmm. So I don't eat as much red meat as I used to, but I can cook a really good New York strip as good as any professional steakhouse.
Yeah.
That's my claim to fame. I used to make crab cakes. I used to make a really amazing crab cake. And I guess that's all that's coming to my head. How about you? What but let's get back to you.
Yeah.
Enough about me.
By the way, when I was younger, I would cook for my mom and I would play restaurant with my mom. And I cooked. Peanut butter French toast is a thing, and some people think it's weird, but it's really good. It's really
sounds
good.
delicious.
So I
would
would
use maple syrup and peanut butter.
What's that?
Did you use maple syrup and the peanut butter?
Oh hell yeah! I mean, the warm peanut butter and the syrup, it's so good.
Oh yeah. I used to do that on pancakes, man.
Oh, so good.
So we're going to talk about food.
We have to end the podcast, everybody, because we need to go eat.
No, keep talking. No, I'm on a 20-hour fast, so this is working for me. So by the time I'm ready to eat tomorrow, I'll be like, I'm going to have peanut butter pancakes.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was really cute. I'd draw up a menu, and then I'd go and, I'd have like a fake, I'd take a lid of a pan and it'd be like my tray, and I'd go to my mom and be like, oh, what would you like? And then she'd pick, it'd probably be, I actually made carrot cake a lot when I was younger. And I think it's because we just always had those ingredients on hand,
Yeah.
And then peanut butter French toast, like super easy, peanut butter and white bread. Yeah.
So explain how that's made.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I got better at it as I got older, but so with the eggs you do.
Oh, wait. Should we save that for the bonus episode?
No, let her go.
No. Okay, go ahead.
So you do eggs and a little bit of brown sugar, vanilla, a little bit of cream or milk, mix it all up. You make a peanut butter sandwich, and you do have to use white bread. It's the only time I like to use white bread. So you use white bread.
Like Wonder Bread or something.
And you got to put lots of peanut butter in it. So it's all gooey and it leaks out and everything. And then you dip it, just like you would French toast, and cook it just like French toast and it's really simple.
So you're basically making a peanut butter sandwich. Mm-hmm. Then you're dunking it. Mm-hmm. And you drop it right in the pan.
Yeah. But I think the difference is making sure you add the vanilla and the brown sugar into the batter.
Vanilla and brown sugar are the top secret ingredients.
What peanut butter brand, though?
I think we always do Jif.
Hey.
You know what I really like?
What?
Is I go to this food service. It used to be called Cash and Carry. Now I think it's U.S. Food Service or something. And they sell like restaurant grade food supply in bulk and that kind of thing. It's not like Costco. It's a little bit different. But they have this coffee section. And inside the coffee section, they have Reese's peanut sauce.
Ooh. Yeah.
So it's like peanut butter, but it's a little bit more liquidy. Mm-hmm. So you can mix it in your coffees and stuff.
Wow. Interesting.
And that would be amazing.
A little boost of protein for the day, too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It dissolves better in coffee.
Wow.
But I think that would be really good on a peanut butter French toast. I think I'm going to have to try that. Okay. What else can you cook?
Well, when I was younger, I was talking about the carrot cake. So my mom got a lot of hand-me-downs from her parents. So we had oh my God, we had this speaker in the house, and it was like a table that took up the whole width of the trailer. I don't even know how to explain it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like
No.
in the 70s or something?
Calvin, find an image and put it on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, this sucker was huge, and she had the 8-track, it was
I know
an
what that
8-track
is.
player too. So we had 8 tracks. My mom was a Zeppelin fan, so I'm sure there was a Zeppelin 8-track in
Cool.
there. You know, I'm a Zeppelin fan. I mean, how could you not be?
Right
But-
on. Great. Good stuff.
Yeah. But yeah.
That is too cool.
So Betty Crocker cookbook.
Okay.
My she got that from my grandma, I assume, and so I do the Betty Crocker carrot cake, and I think the fat was vegetable oil, and I think that's what made it really good. So
Yeah, but I think we have a copy of that somewhere too. But I usually cook out of what's that cookbook you gave me that one time, Calvin?
You don't cook out of that thing. No,
What's
you
it
don't.
called? Yeah, I do.
No,
What
you
is it?
don't.
Yeah. What's it? Come
It's
on.
called the Epic Mealtime Cookbook back in 2010 or something.
Yeah, those guys, they made epic meals.
you know, we
But-
should all just pull out a cookbook and once a week make something new. You know.
On the podcast.
Oh my gosh, stellar.
We just have an offshoot, the Dr. Dex Cooking Podcast.
You know what? There's
And you can finally make something from the book.
I'm going to go way off topic, but this is what we
Please do.
Right? So
No, this
there's-
is not about deck building at all.
know.
This is just about you. I told you that before we started, right?
So you
Come
know,
on, April, let's go.
When my daughter was younger, she did slime. She wanted to make slime, and they would always use the word, "It's satisfying. It's so satisfying," right? And then there are people that get paid to eat, to just eat, and then people want to hear the sound of them eating.
That's disgusting.
So. It's a satisfying. I don't know if it's a sexual thing. I don't know.
I always like the way when you did slime and it made that farting noise.
Yeah.
That's what I liked. I'm weird as a kid. The slime used to be more toxic back in when I had it when I was a kid though. And if you left it out too long, it just became a mess. It would just glue itself to stuff.
I don't even remember having slime when I was a kid.
Well, you probably did. You probably missed that wave, the first
Yeah.
wave.
Okay.
And then your kids got into the second wave.
Yeah,
it went away for 20 years until they realized, hey, these ingredients cause cancer, so maybe we should use something else. We better pull it off the market and slowly reintroduce it when.
We made homemade Play-Doh.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that silly putty thing where you took the silly putty and stuck it to the comics and then
Yeah,
you pull it off and it has a comic
course.
on the back?
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're not that young then.
No.
Awesome. Okay, so we're in middle school or junior high school, depending on where you grew up, whatever you call it. But when I grew up, it was 7th, 8th, and 9th. But where you were, was it that as well? Was it?
Fifth through 8th grade, and
5th. Okay.
yeah, 5th grade was so cool. And the reason I'm bringing it up now is because if you have kids out in California here, in Southern California, particularly San Diego County, a lot of them during 8th grade go to Washington, D.C. Well, we got to do that in 5th grade. And that's what I remember about 5th grade was all of the projects and everything that we did was leading up to this big field trip that we had. And we took a bus from Ohio to DC, and it was so cool. I think that was just a really, what do they say, a core memory.
So, okay, cool. So it's a core memory. So as you're doing this trip at such a young age, what's the one thing that stood out the most? Or what are one of the memories that you have of that really stuck out to you?
Well, I think for a lot of us, it was our first time being away from home for that long. And so you felt a sense of independence, you had your money to buy your own things, and it was just fun. I've got a really funny picture. I'll try and share it with you. You could put it on
send it to
social or
Studio
something.
Man. Have your team send it to Studio Man, and
Okay.
then
I mean,
he'll
it's
get it
it's
in
one of
there.
those embarrassing photos, but I love that, I mean, I had
Sure.
super short hair, and yeah, I definitely look like the times.
Did you guys tour the Washington Monument and all
Yeah.
that stuff?
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
it was really good.
I haven't seen that yet, but I've seen a lot of pictures of it.
Oh, so I
almost like
took
I was
my
there.
kids when my best friend got married out there. Gosh, I guess it's been 5 years now. And we did the scooters, like you could do the Lime scooters. And that was so fun to go
bet.
to all the monuments on the scooters, during fall.
that's
It was really
cool.
cool.
That is awesome. That's awesome.
I just rented, where was I recently? Oh, I went to Sacramento. It was really cool. I'm a history buff, so I just love to do all the tours, and they even have a garden in the back of the Capitol building that has trees and plant life from all over the world because everything can grow out here.
Oh, cool.
And so I just toured along, and then I took the scooter, like I like being playful, so it was cool to be on the scooter and then go to the history museum. And we did this like underground history museum, and they had underground things. It was one of those cities that was built, they had to build it up again. And they actually had devices to lift the buildings up because it kept flooding.
Interesting. I guess Seattle's kind of like that as well.
Yeah.
I heard there's an underground city in Seattle. Have you ever been on that, Cal?
I've done
me
that
either.
tour too.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, you probably know more about my local town than I do.
You should do it.
One of these days, I'll get around to it in my spare time.
Yeah.
This is my spare time, actually. All right, so we're into middle school. You did some cool trips, field trips. You get anything else in middle school?
Well, I started to get really into art.
Okay.
Really felt like that defined me. They used to have, like, at the end of the year, they would vote for like best, like prettiest eyes and like class clown, which I was one year too. And then like best artist and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people knew me as the girl that could draw and stuff like that. And I was, so my dad, you ride bikes, right? So my dad rode bikes, and we'd always go to, like, Harley would have these parties in Warren, Ohio area, Trumbull County. And they would just have like free food, and I don't know if they had alcohol. I don't remember. I was too young, but
I'm sure they did.
yeah, it was just a nice kind of get together and a way for them to, promote their bikes. But I was in the newspaper for that. So I was outside with my dad's friend's kid, and we were pointing at the bikes, and we got in the newspaper. And then I was in the newspaper for some, like, I drew a sitting bull, and I drew it in charcoal, and I got in the newspaper for that too. So kind of cool.
You don't see bulls sitting too much.
But
unless they're trying to kick some guy off their butt. Crazy. Okay, cool. So you got through middle school. You're an artist. You're kind of into that. And then how was your high school years?
Well, high school was kind of weird because I grew up in this, small town. Like, everybody knew everyone. My graduating class had, I think, 80, maybe 89 people. And just everybody knew everybody. And then I decided to go to a vocational school, which was within the county, but in a different city. And at the same time, we moved into the house that my grandfather grew up in Akron, Ohio, which is where Goodyear and stuff is. And these neighborhoods were built, it was built around Goodyear. Like, they would build all of these homes for the workers. So it was interesting because the school that I always went to, they still considered it your home school. I don't know, like, I still had a graduation there, and I don't know, other things. But then I had my vocational school. But then I was also, town here, and then living over here. So it was kind of weird because once I moved, which that was like 30 minutes away from where I grew up, I just didn't hang out with the same people anymore. Like, I didn't hang out with a lot of people because they were kind of doing their own thing, and like, I'm way over here,
Yeah, you're out of the loop.
Yeah. So I
That's
ended
tough
up
out of high school.
Again, like, I worked a ton. I worked at Red Lobster. I was the biscuit girl. That's all I did was make the biscuits. It was the best job I've ever had. It was super easy.
Kidding.
The cooks and the prep cook and I would just goof off in the back. And all I had to do was make those delicious biscuits.
And I'll be honest with you, I've never been to Red Lobster, and I've never had a Cheddar Bay biscuit, but I so need to go do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think they sell you could just add water type of thing or whatnot.
I think I have some of that in my house too, but I still haven't tried it. Shame on me, but I heard they're really delicious.
They are good when they're fresh, and I did a great job at making sure they were always fresh.
Were people, when they found out what hours you were working, they would come in and have the biscuits?
No, because I was working 20 minutes away from where I lived, so I was just going all over the place. But that's that's a good segue too. I mean, I bought my first car. It was a '79 brown Monte Carlo. I put Cheech and Chong balls in the window, and then and like a tie-dye tapestry on the roof. But I bought that puppy with my own money when I was 15, and I was so excited to drive. I was so excited for that independence, and I don't know. Man. Do you have, or you do, you have grown kids?
One.
Calvin. Okay, just Calvin. Okay. So Calvin can sympathize with the only child thing. So anyway, I was just really excited for my independence. And what I was going to say is a lot of kids down here, they just aren't excited to drive. And I guess maybe because of Uber and electric bikes, maybe that's where that's coming from. But man, I was so pumped to drive. I couldn't wait.
I know. It was freedom, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So
give me a gas card and a car. Yeah. I'm good to go.
So I worked at Red Lobster, and then I worked at a place called the Mustard Seed Cafe. It was kind of like a fancy grocery store, and I did it was called a pantry cook. So I did salads and sandwiches and things like that, and we'd have a Sunday. Oh my God, I'm totally missing something really cool. I'll share that with you. But I did the Sunday brunch, and I was the omelet girl. And so I did that. Oh, wow. Yeah, I did that.
So you got really good at flipping omelets, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, and wait a minute. You know what? I'm going to lobby for your husband a little bit, because sounds to me like you possess the skills to make some really great food, and you're not doing it.
Well, you want to know the difference is that I'm like a typical woman multitasker, and so I can't just focus on cooking. Like I have to clean as I go. And my husband doesn't do that. He uses a whole roll of paper towels, and there's just things all over the place. Like I walk in, I'm like, but the food's delicious. And
my wife is the same way.
Yeah, I end up overcooking things because I can't focus.
But that's just funny when you make your kids listen to this podcast. I'm like, Mom, you made this and you know how to do that? I've never seen you make a salad in my life. Come on. Like they're not going to be asking for salads, but my wife and I just went out for a salad, and I don't usually do it, but man, it was really good. We went to this place called Hops and Drops? Hops and Drops. And it's like a chain, man. And it was a really good salad. So I can empathize. So anyways, so you're making these salads. And what else did you do?
That was it. After that, I ended up working at I made sushi too. Well, sorry, maki rolls is what we called it. Yeah. We call it sushi. It's just the rolls, Mm-hmm. I didn't even know what any of that stuff was back then,
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, sushi's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't like sashimi so much, but I like sushi.
Yeah.
I like Americanized sushi.
Yeah. With all the
deep fried rolls are awesome.
Sauces.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Crunch rolls. Chicken sushi.
My husband and I, we like to split things. So we'll both get something different and then we'll just share,
Oh, cool.
We're total foodies. But when it comes to sushi, it stinks because he always wants to get like something fried. And I just am not into it at all. At all.
Well, you could always say, well, you're on your own on that one.
Yeah.
Huh?
But awesome. Yeah, after that, I ended up, I was a Sauté cook at a restaurant called Eastside Mario's that doesn't exist anymore. And that was a pretty intense job. And I got paid more than the other cooks there. And when I interviewed, because I'm young, I'm like 16 years old. And so when I interviewed, my boss was like, don't tell anybody else how much you're making. But it's because I was going to, culinary school. I had a ton of experience and it only made sense. But that was a wild job because I would work on the weekends when it was really busy. And I had 8 pans going at one time, cooking 8 different dishes at one time. Like it was
That's
intense.
Amazing. That is intense.
And I would come home and I smelled so bad. My mom told me, she's like, I would never go eat there because you stunk so bad. I mean, it was pretty intense.
Strip in the garage and get in the shower.
Yeah, I mean, my car probably stunk just from driving home.
Oh, I bet. That's funny.
Yeah.
Funny. So were you still in high school when you were doing the culinary school?
Yeah, it's called a vocational school. So instead of just going to regular high school, you go to like a trade school. I guess is what it's called. Yeah. So I did
you
that.
do both, or did you go just to the trade school?
Well, the
or the
trade
Voc
school, you still have required classes, but the classes kind of relate to whatever the trade is. So I would do like the math class, and it was, kind of about measuring ingredients and things like that,
So do you find yourself when you go out to eat now, do you have like a standard that you judge everything against because you're so experienced in cooking?
Well, it's interesting because, now I create online experiences. And I think that and just like you do, you create physical experiences. And I think it's all about the details. So I do, even as a business owner, I've noticed that like I kind of have a Karen mindset about certain things. I'm like, why are they doing it like that? You're just like, you don't get it. And so when I go to a restaurant, like I haven't told you about my art college. But I'm a designer that by heart, and so if I go to a restaurant and their menu is designed poorly, like I just can't even take it. And then if you go to a restaurant and they have a pepper grinder, it's like it's so simple, it's the simplest thing. Or if they, like if you go to a restaurant and they have those like foil wrapped butter blocks, it's like ugh. Just whip up some herbs and some, butter and put it on the table, or
Toss
just
some
ditch
garlic
all
in
that
there,
and
yeah.
have some really good olive oil,
I'm with you. Those foil, especially when they're soft. Oh man, they're just a hassle.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a dilemma, man.
Yeah. So, and plus I'm real, I mean, my husband and I, we like the atmosphere a lot when we go out to eat. So, and places don't get it all the time. They don't they're either really good with atmosphere and not so good with the food. It's really hard to find places that do it both. And I think that what we've found is just going to like a down home type of place is usually the best.
What are your staples in San Diego? Like, give me a couple places you guys like to go to that you think are really good.
Well, we have it's like the brewery capital of the world. We have so many craft breweries here. And so we end up going to a lot of places like that because it's more like American food and our kids will eat it, which is unfortunate. But there's a place in Oceanside called Local Tap House. Super good. And, it's like, I think what makes it really good is it's got that like Oceanside beach vibe. Beach and skater vibe. And they feature local photographers and stuff like that. And it's all open, so you feel like you're outside, but the food is really, really good and it's not crazy expensive, and I think that's what keeps the place busy all the time.
All right. Well, there's a good plug for that company.
Yeah. Heck yeah. And that's
Awesome.
like the default anywhere. So.
Like if you can't find anything else to go, we go over here.
Oh, heck yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, April. So you graduate high school.
Well, hold on. Let me do one more thing. So when I was in middle school, I got that job when I was, actually, no, I was in high school. I think it was in between 8th grade and 9th grade. I got the job as the dishwasher at the Gypsy Wagon restaurant. It was the only restaurant in town. We had 2 traffic lights in town. And I worked my way up like really quickly into being a cook there. And then somehow miraculously, this 13-year-old girl is doing the Friday fish fry. And then Sunday morning breakfast, I was doing the most intense, busy nights there. And I was cooking for the whole restaurant by myself, except
wow.
I think fish fry, maybe Marianne was working with me, but yeah, just one cook doing it all at 13. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah. I don't know, but it was
Is that even legal?
Well, that's what I'm saying. My daughter, she's old enough to get a job now, and she's like, I think I have to get something from the school. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know how to do any of this stuff now. And so I chat GPT'd it, and yeah, she has to, the school will monitor her grades and they will not allow her to continue to have a work permit if her grades aren't good. And it's like a whole process.
It's funny because you're studying to learn to become great to be able to get a job to earn money. But if you're earning money too young, then you get penalized because your grades are slipping because you're trying to earn money.
Yeah.
It's kind of boiling down to the same thing.
Yeah. Pretty
But
crazy.
that real world experience may get you further in life.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna save that one because Calvin has a question for you in our bonus episode.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna talk about that right now because I was gonna go there, but I think I'm gonna wait because that's a good and we love to get the answers and everybody's pretty much the same on this topic. But anyways,
Okay.
More about April. Okay, that actually, I don't know any 13-year-olds that can run a fish fry on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Except you.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
gosh. We
pretty
were
cool.
so hillbilly too. I mean, I was smoking cigarettes when I was younger, like going to the gas station. Hey, will you buy me some cigarettes? You know, like we all smoked. Nobody smokes in California, by the way. And like,
Did they have cigarette machines back then?
Yes, of course.
And so you could just walk into like some restaurant and just
Yeah.
throw in your quarters real quick and
Sure.
pull the lever and out comes Calvin. You gotta find an image of the old cigarette
Oh
machine.
my gosh, yeah.
And
we
throw it
have
up there,
one.
'cause-
There's a Moose Lodge here in Oceanside. I finally got to go for the first time. Cheap beer, good people, and the whole place is decked out like it was back in the day. And there's still a cigarette machine in there.
That's hilarious because you used to pull on a lever and then you'd get the pack of cigarettes out. And I didn't smoke when I was younger, but I had friends that did. And like, man, I don't have the guts to go in here or the balls to go in here and get these. I'm like, give me your money. I went in there, threw the money in the machine, yank on the lever. Which one? Oh, I got the wrong. Okay, give me some more money. I'll go get you the 100s instead of the. I didn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted mentholatum ones? Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, smoke these first.
Yeah. So
Cool.
what I was going to say is that there were other, I think they were a couple of years older than me that were there working as servers, and they would just sit there and smoke by the cash register. You know, I mean, I feel like it's just crazy when you look back and you're like, oh yeah, like I'm 40.
You know, they used
I'm
to be
43
able to
years
smoke
old
on.
now. Like,
They used to be able to smoke on airplanes too.
yeah, it's so wild.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is crazy. Oh man. Okay, so tell me about now you're anything else through high school? Like I think we kind of covered most of that, right?
Well, I decided that I didn't want to work 80 hours a week and be a chef. And I decided I did want to go to art school, which is what I always wanted to do. I wanted to be an illustrator. I wanted to be a cartoonist. And I ended up getting some scholarships, which was pretty cool, and went to the Cleveland Institute of Art. So I left the country for the big city.
And so, okay, so how many years was that? 4 years?
It
or
was
2
a
years?
5-year program, which
5
honestly,
years.
like, was kind of ridiculous. But I went to it was really more of a fine arts school. But this was 99 when I went. And so the internet was becoming a thing. Digital was becoming more of a thing. And so they started to integrate more commercial type of classes. So I always say, man, I really wish I could have went to more of a commercial art focused school, but everything ended up fine. You know what I mean? Like my everything ended up fine. So I don't know why I always say that, but yeah, so the reason they had the 5th year was because you had a thesis year. And so that makes sense for fine artists because it gives, like, they learn all the fundamentals. And then the 5th year, it's all about them just like discovering who they are as an artist and coming up with a gallery, essentially. So everybody had like a little space, maybe it was like a 10 by 10 space that you would present your thesis. And it was basically like an art show, you know, but I went to school for illustration, and I have so much artwork, but I wanted to step into the new world. And so I started taking coding classes and Flash animation classes. And the Flash classes what really got me. And so Flash was an Adobe product used to animate things. So I built a lot of websites using Flash, and I loved it because I can make the digital experience feel tactile. I really like that a lot. So yeah, I ended up graduating with, a Bachelor of Fine Arts in illustration and a minor in what they called what did they call it? Technology integrated media arts. So I learned a lot
cool.
about video and, coding websites and the Flash animation and all of that type
So
of
were you
stuff.
hacking at all, or
What's that?
were you doing any hacking at all, or anything like that, or
No,
coding?
I'm a little bit of a nerd, but not that big of a nerd.
Not that big of a nerd. Okay, well, had to ask. It came to mind. So with that degree, what does that entitle you for? Like, as far as like, if you're looking for employment,
Yeah.
or did you what'd you do from that point?
Yeah, I mean, a pretty good transition. American Greetings is headquarters in Cleveland, and they had a division called AG Interactive. And so, do you remember the e-cards? I actually sent one to my mom for Mother's Day this year. I was like, do they still make those? It was kind of cool. But do you know what I'm talking about? An e-card? So you could send somebody, a greeting card through email.
Sure, electronic greeting card.
Yeah, and they'd be animated and stuff. So they did that. But what's really cool about that job, and it dates me, and by the way, squirrel, I found out the other day that my assistant is younger than my than an email address that I have.
I
Isn't
believe
that crazy?
It is. It is.
So
That's hilarious.
So anyway, MSN Messenger, like when I was in high school, AOL Messenger was a thing. And it's crazy because I would go to school early and I would just chat with like random people. Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
weird.
It's called, what do you call it? Like people are preying on you.
Yeah.
Or something bizarre.
Yeah, so weird. Just like, and then it was MySpace, but yeah. So MSN Messenger started to become a thing, and they had avatars and emojis that you could purchase. And so I was an animator, and I animated avatars and emojicons. So some of the first ones for the MSN Messenger
No kidding.
platform. Yeah.
Now, how did you get hooked up with MSN, or
No,
did that
they
work?
had a partnership with AG Interactive. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. Like I'd go to work and I'd just make things like puke and vomit and dance. And I mean, it was really cool.
How cool is that? You made poop dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
and got paid for it.
Yes, exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
it was
all in.
fun.
All right. So from that point, how long did you do that for?
So that really started my contracting career. So I always tell people that my experience in my industry is very similar to a lot of deck builders, where you start out as maybe a general contractor, handyman, something like that, and then you find your passion and you want to do decks, and maybe you subcontract a lot before you do your own thing. And that was my journey, but with design, branding, marketing. And so that was actually a contract job. So my contract ran out after a year and I didn't get re-signed, and I had to go and find something else. And I ended up being a graphic designer at a company called Bonnie Bell. They did, you boys probably won't know what this is, but if you had sisters, maybe you will. They made this lip gloss called Lip Smackers, and it was scented lip gloss, and everybody had it back in the day.
Okay.
So I worked for that company and did graphic design, package design, point of purchase displays. But remember, I'm the girl that knows Flash animation, and I know how to hand code websites. So very quickly, they were like, "Okay, you're going to be our web department." And so I managed all of their websites, and there was just a developer. So I was the creative director and project manager and designer and all that, and then collaborated with the developer on all the websites, and also did email marketing. So that's kind of where the marketing component of my experience started.
Okay, so quickly, can you tell me the first animation job you had? How long did that last for?
For a year.
For 1 year, and then you had to do this other. And how long did you work for the Lip Smackers?
Well, let's see. I probably a couple of years, if even. Let me think. Like I don't know, maybe a couple of years. And then
Just vaguely.
my husband and I came out to So when you live in Ohio, if you're going to move somewhere warm, you're going to move to Florida. I mean, that's just what you do. Everyone does it, you know? I had my dad live down there. I had friends down there. Like when I got out of college, I was moving to Florida. Like that was a no brainer. I wanted sunshine. And like I said, salt in my hair, right? Well, my boyfriend at the time took me out to California to hang out with his friend that just got the dude's literally a rocket scientist. He got a job at Northrop Grumman in Redondo Beach and we came out to visit him. Well, meanwhile, my husband now was planning to propose. So he proposed and I completely fell in love with California, completely. And I was like, this is it. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. He proposed and then we ended up moving. We were like, okay, we're going to move out here. So when I got back, I wanted to find a job where I can make more money so that I could save up to move to this expensive area with the intention of, hey, if we have to eat ramen noodles, we're going to eat ramen noodles because this is what I want. So I took another job, literally just, I made 70 grand. That was a lot of money for me back then. You know, that was in 2006, I think. That was a lot of money for me. You know, I wasn't that old, but meanwhile, my husband's over here. He's a first officer in a jet making like 24 grand a year. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, but he gets to fly a jet.
Yeah.
But they're giving a guy $24,000 to fly $1 billion or $500 million aircraft.
It was crazy back then.
That's kind of like, wait a minute.
They were like pizza delivery guys on the side. It was insane.
Oh, that's sad, man.
Yeah.
We should really take care of our military better than that. I mean,
so crazy.
Where are all these taxes? If I'm paying this much in tax, I vote we give those guys a little bit more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to have a special set of skills. You got to be a special height. You have to have perfect vision. There's so many things that you got to do to qualify as an aircraft pilot for the military.
Well, yeah,
it ain't even funny.
Like the learning just doesn't stop. They have to go through different things every year in order to stay current and stuff like that. So it's a lot.
Crazy. Mm-hmm. That is. That's wow, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so then you decide, hey, we're moving to California.
Yeah. Yeah. So we moved here in 2008. Wait, let's see. We got married in 2006. So we moved out here and the end of 2007 and it was a down economy and I could not get a job anywhere. I applied at a bunch of different agencies, like creative agencies and marketing. Well, not even marketing at the time. I was still trying to do design and I couldn't get a job, but people still needed the work. And so this is where I started contracting. This was my subcontracting experience, right? I was a contractor for different agencies and got a lot of experience under my belt doing a lot of different things and got to see how they did things and where I could, where I saw opportunity. And after doing that for so many years, I was just like, there's no more security working for someone else. I might as well do it on my own. So I took everything that I learned and I just, started my own business. At the time I called it AE Graphic and Web Design. And then it changed to AE Design Co. And we recently just rebranded literally this week to Audition. So I have two marketing agencies now. But so that was that. Story there is kind of relative to what I wanted to talk about today was the disruption with AI and buyer behavior. I felt that during that time because when I was still contracting, I was the Flash animator. So I did a lot of Flash animation for websites for different branding agencies. Well, Apple came out and like iPhones wouldn't use Flash. And so if your whole website was built in Flash, nobody could even see it. So that was a big disruptor. And I was like, okay, well, I've put all my eggs into this and now it's no more. It's not relative anymore, And so I had to reinvent what I was doing. And I ended up doing websites in hand coding websites and really focusing on that. And then WordPress came out. And then of course I got on that. It's a content management system for your website, and it's the most popular content management system in the world for websites. And so I got on that bandwagon, and then it just kind of became a commodity. You could buy themes and all of these things. So I've had a lot of disruption in my career. And then I started doing more marketing stuff, because what I was doing is I was building websites and it'd be like you creating an amazing outdoor living space and deck, and like nobody uses it, and that's kind of what was going on, because they were paying me to build this great site, but then it would just sit there. They weren't marketing it. And I knew about email marketing. I knew about SEO and all these things. And so I just went into that direction. I'm like, okay, well, I can do something where it's going to make a bigger impact, and it's not going to be subjective either. Like, I had so many people when I worked at that company, Bonnie Bell, it was like, oh my God, if it's not pink, I don't like it. And it was completely subjective, And so working with people that didn't know anything about design, and they're like trying to tell me how to do a website, I'm like, Now it's like, I'm going to show you how you make money off of this, and support your business. So
there you go.
Yeah, that's kind of the evolution of going from, how would I summarize it? Going from learning what not to do from my mom, working hard for what I want when I was young, having a lot of experience, meeting a lot of people, being in different positions to get to this point, which is crazy. I mean, I'm doing marketing for deck builders. Like, who's this blonde girl that went to art school that's doing this? And it is, I'm telling you, Jason, I am totally where I'm supposed to be. And there's a whole
This is
story
radical.
there too.
And you know what? I think we got the gist of it in this podcast. So far, we've had a great history lesson of you, April, and I do have to. We have to answer this question before this podcast switches into our bonus episode. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you already asked yourself it earlier, but now it's coming out of my mouth. So how and why did you direct yourself into a deck builder marketer's role? I mean, what is it? How did that originate? Why did you choose this path? Mm-hmm. And just explain to me, make me understand why I should be all in with what you're selling.
Yeah. So with my other company that just rebranded this week, we basically, I say we were the general construction of marketing agencies. We were literally doing everything. And if I were to compare it to construction, I would say, interior remodels, roofing, windows, residential and commercial, like just everything you could possibly do. The clients we worked with, we had a fertility clinic. We had a lot of clients, but just to kind of give you the range. So we had a fertility clinic. We had an international pressure calibration manufacturer. We had a death metal merchandise e-commerce website. Yeah.
Right on.
Radical.
Yeah.
I want in on that one.
Well, Audiction, the new company, that's what it's all about. But anyway, so I just kind of felt icky. I felt like this isn't scalable. You can't hone in on your craft when you're trying to do everything. And marketing is have the right message at the right time to the right person. Well, how in the hell am I supposed to do that when we're literally doing everything? I'd have to have a million messages going to a million different people. And so I just really wanted to make a bigger impact. And when I looked at this was a journey of me really trying to figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up, even though it was already there.
You're growing up.
Yeah. And so I finally just looked at the clients that we had, that we enjoyed working with the best and the ones that we had the most success with. And it was our deck builder client in Ohio. So over the course of a few years working with them, we essentially developed what we use now as the deck builder marketing system. So I took everything that we learned by helping that business go from, I think they were at $1 million and then maybe at $4 million, over the course of a few years. I took everything that we did there and packaged it up into what we sell today. So,
which is what?
Which is the Deck Builder Marketing Growth System. It's broken into 3 phases depending on where you are and how aggressive your goals are. And if you meet with me, I offer a free growth strategy session, and I can nerd out with you and like look over all of your stuff and see what your opportunity is and reverse engineer a plan to get you where you want to go. And then if it seems like we're a good fit, I can tell you what phase you would probably work best starting in that.
I think if you're down in our bonus episode, maybe we can do a little mock-up Dr. Dex thing.
Okay.
And we can chat a little bit about that. And there's so much that I have. I have a lot of. I mean, this is up my alley, right? So I do have some questions, but I think a lot of that we're going to save for the bonus episode. So if you guys want to hear the wisdom coming out of this lady's mouth, which is all about to come, we've learned about your history, learned about you. We very interesting and colorful past. Congratulations on you for growing up in a trailer park and blossoming into this successful businesswoman. I applaud that.
Thank you.
We know we need. It's cool to see. But one more timeline thing I want to hit before we switch out of this. So I just want to revert for a second because it's still about the timeline. With me, it's always about a timeline of. Sorry, Calvin, I have to adjust the mic a little bit. Okay, so. You did the before you started your own business, you worked for the lip gloss for a couple years, and you did something I can't remember exactly what it was before that. And then how long were you spending in these other marketing companies, or when you started developing your own company? And then you said now you have 2. So how did those split? And what's your timeline? How long have you been doing that for?
Well, A Design Co. officially incorporated in 2012. And then Deck Builder Marketers has been around, I think, 3 years now.
Okay, so like you said, 2007, 2008 was a rough time. It was for a lot of people. Even, I mean, I think I had like 8 weeks off total, like back in 2008. But that's not bad considering, that guys were off for 6, 8, 10 months, whatever, couldn't sell anything, whatever, had to go to work for somebody else, things like that. But so that was a tough time for a lot of people, and then you were able to regenerate and repurpose and create your own business. So from 2008 until approximately when?
2012. I mean, there was a transition where I was doing, like, I always had freelance clients too, and I did continue. I mean, with A Design Co. Now it's Audition again. I can talk about that, but we have some of the same clients we've had since 2018, and those were freelance clients before I incorporated A Design Co. So, very long-term partnerships because we do a good job.
So in 2012, from then on, you've been pretty much doing the same thing.
Yeah. Well,
similar things.
Well, the big difference from a business perspective, I mean, you guys build projects, but we're a partner, and so we have monthly reoccurring revenue, and it makes it really easy to scale. So when we first started, I mean, I probably had freelancers and a couple of core people, but now I've got a team of 23. And I can do that because I can reverse engineer everything based off of my sales goals and then know that I need to recruit people X amount of months in advance to prepare for that growth. So we have a lot of people right now because our busy season is your guys' slow season. And so I've been ramping everything up for that. And we're going to go all out at Deck Expo this year too.
Are you going to have your own booth?
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a big one.
We'll swing by and say hi.
Yeah, I'd love that.
I'm usually a pinball at one of those events because I have so many clients that I work for nowadays, and they all want 2 hours. But the thing I don't like about Deck Expo is, or maybe it was Deck Expo. It was only a 6.5 hour show, which only gives me so much time to be with any particular group or a brand of people. So like I'm just shooting an hour and a half here, and if I want to add one extra stop, like for an hour, I have to cut everybody else's time down. So it's like it's hard to go to a show, and I don't even have time to eat.
Yeah, I know.
Or use the bathroom,
or sleep, because the real good stuff is after the show.
Yeah, and those late dinners are just, oh man, I regret them every time. It's like, man.
Overdo it.
Yeah, well, it's just it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
you're tired. It's usually Well, the West Coast stuff ain't so bad. Yeah, you're on the West Coast as well. But when you're on the East Coast, your whole system's messed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So now you've been hot and heavy again, let's plug your new company.
Okay. Yeah.
And how do we find it? And how do people find you socially? And I know you have a podcast as well, correct?
Yeah. We love deck builders. Yep.
Oh, me too.
Yep. So that's it. The other company is not related to deck building at all. We do digital marketing for fan-fueled brands, basically artists / bands and labels.
Hey, man, you never know who might be listening to this thing, and they might be looking for representation, and tell them all about it.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep. So if you are, like if you sell merch, right? Like you've got your Dr. Deck stuff available, but like usually it's if you have, a new drop, like a new, like you're constantly, doing more, album releases and things like that, you kind of have something to sell, right? So it's that's why working with bands and stuff makes a lot of sense. But I ride dirt bikes, and so cool. I belong to a group called Babes in the Dirt, and they sell merch. And the thing is like they sell their merch. They have an online store, and they sell their merch at the events, and that's where a lot of people make their sales. But if you are a part of a community and you are a real hardcore fan, you don't want to wait till the event. Like you want your whole wardrobe to be that merch, And so that's where we come in, is making sure that your fans turn into long-term customers.
Cool. Okay. And then your new company?
Well, Addiction is the new company, Deck Builder Marketers. You could go to deckbuildermarketers.com. Do go on there and check out the resources section, because you can join our Deck Builder Mastermind Facebook group. Sign up for our email list so that you are in touch with everything that we have going on. I offer a lot of value through downloadable guides and videos. If you're a part of the We Love Deck Builders podcast, I do an open coaching call once a month. And little sneak peek here. Well, I'm also a regular columnist in the Deck Specialist magazine. It's called Market Yourself. So check that out. And little preview here, but I'm working with Pops and Margie from Nadra to start a SoCal Nadra regional event. So we're working to get the first one out in September, and I'm really pumped about that, to bring some builders together and industry pros down here.
Cool. Yeah, we've had a couple guys from the San Diego area on our podcast as well.
Yep.
We've
Blake
had
and Dave.
Blake and Dave. Yep. Both great guys. Good entertainment. April Edwards, it was so good, and I'm happy to get to know you and I know about you and your past. But we want to know more about your business, but we're going to have to do that on our bonus episode.
Okay.
So if you guys want to know more about the mechanics of what April does, stick around, go to our Patreon channel and join. For $5 a month, you can get all the exclusivity that we're about to talk about. And that is supporting our mission, which is to keep Studio Man employed.
Love it. But stay tuned for it too, because I don't want to just talk about the company. I really do want to talk about some things that you need to be considering right now for your marketing.
Yeah. If you think there's a mission statement in that you need to get out right now, go ahead and do it as well.
Yeah.
We've kind of hit our timeline, but it's cool if you want to
do it really quick. And it's just because, I feel really drawn to educate. But if you lived through the COVID era and you felt, you felt how that was before everybody started like building homes, when everyone was stuck, and you weren't online and you felt that, it's even worse now. And so all I'm saying is, if you're not working with a partner or somebody that really understands what they're doing, you're going to continue to fall behind because of AI. So the consumer is in control. They are searching through generative AI tools and generative search tools like ChatGPT and stuff like that to do their own research and become a lot more informed instead of being sold to. And so I'll talk about a bunch of nerdy little things that you need to be doing in order to make sure that you're not falling even farther behind in this shift right now.
Interesting. We've had our own experiences with AI and some of the stuff that we're doing. And Calvin in particular has some questions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
Calvin's
can
going to
talk about that or not.
Well, I'd like to in our bonus episode. And also, we can discuss a little bit more how AI is not going to build the deck for you, but how you're getting your information out to other people, it's definitely going to affect how that happens. So let's...
We just did a video on that, too.
We did. We just did a YouTube video on that, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
That was courtesy of Calvin. He came up with that concept. So we kind of ran through the gamut on it, but... April, thank you so much for being on our podcast. I think people are going to be able to get to know you a little bit better and understand your mission and possibly hit you up.
Love it.
And see what's the best way to get a hold of you for information.
Oh my gosh. You could go on the website. If you go to deckbuildermarketers.com/get-started, and you could just book a time with me, an hour growth strategy session. Or
Awesome.
any of the socials. But
Okay, you're on it. You're on all of it. Are you on
Yeah.
YouTube as well?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. April, thank you so much for being on our podcast. We really are grateful for you. Stick around to that Patreon if you guys want to hear more. And we will talk soon. Thanks for
right.
being here. Calvin, hit that music.
Thanks, guys.
Over and out.